and just climate change wise, AI wise. I mean, there's a lot of big storms coming our way,
Mm.
and some are already here. And so, yes, I agree with you, brother. This is ironic that we dropped this album July 4th, which was symbolic for us. And, you know, the music resonates in a deeper way than it even was planned when we were writing it and creating it for the last year.
Yep.
So yeah, brother, it is a timely release.
I think I get it, but tell me why July 4th. And I ask that against the backdrop of what this audience already knows, of course, is that on July 4th, not to make you political, but we talked about it on this program, of course, Donald Trump signed into law the most draconian bill I think I've ever covered in my career, and I've been at this 30 plus years. And the pain and hurt and death, frankly, sadly, that's going to be realized in the months and years to come is unimaginable, it's unthinkable, and on a certain level, even perhaps unbearable. So Donald Trump signs this, what he called Big Beautiful Bill, into law on July 4th. But on that very same day, you all give us life, new life, with this new project. Fascinating irony for me. Take it and do with it as you will speech.
No, you're right, brother. It was intentionally a counter punch or a counter reaction to what so many of us Americans and people throughout the world are feeling on that very day. The symbolism was on purpose. We had obviously a choice to release it any date. We decided to release it on the day to be a counter punch or a counter narrative that people can listen to, feel encouraged, feel uplifted, feel activated, ignited, and that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah. I have worked at this over the course of my life. I was just in conversation with some friends about this the other day, and I'm still working at it. There's some lessons in life you learn one time and you get it. You don't touch a hot stove, okay? You do it one time, you get it. There are other lessons in life I think we learn perennially, and here I am now, still learning this lesson, getting better at it, of being present in the moment. Like right now, I am fully present in this moment, in this conversation with speech. Nothing else matters to me. I want to hear him. I want to feel him. I want to love on him, celebrate his music and that of Arrested Development. So I want to be present in this moment. Why do I say that? Because I'm fascinated to ask speech when we come forward how an artist writes music for the present moment. In a moment like this, how do you put pen to paper, or maybe you're on a computer? I don't know how you write these days, but how in a moment like this do you write music that speaks to the times, or what people are going through, at least during treacherous times like these? We'll start there and go forward when we continue our dialogue with speech of Arrested Development on Tavis Smiley.
From Lamert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. I do not consider myself a fan of Sean Puffy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy Love, Brother Love Combs. But one doesn't have to be a fan to acknowledge a simple truth about his recent jury trial. I think the primary reason he was acquitted of those sex trafficking and RICO charges is because he was overcharged in the first place. Mine is not to opine on his guilt or innocence on any of the charges the feds brought against him. But I predicted months ago that he would beat the most serious charges because, as usual, prosecutors have a really bad habit of overcharging black men. Dave Chappelle said it best: Puffy is in a RICO case all by himself, man. Hilarious and arresting at the same time. When prosecutors put a target on the backs of black men, they throw everything at them just to see what sticks. And too often, just like in the Puffy case at the very end, they move to dismiss some of the charges and then double down on the ones they think they can win. It's racist and it's wrong, and somebody ought to say so. I think I just did. Not for the benefit of Puffy, but on behalf of all the other black men who have been and sadly will be woefully overcharged in the future. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
More honesty than you can handle.
More empowerment than you can imagine.
You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Yo, this is headliner from Arrested Development, and right now you're in the midst of a celebration. A celebration of life, death, and the struggles of our ancestors. Check it out. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah.
I'm Tavis Smiley, and I am Everyday People, and so is Speech, the two-time Grammy Award-winning founder of the iconic hip-hop collective, Arrested Development. Delighted to be in conversation with him in this hour, talking about their new album, Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. They got some new stuff out, y'all. I'm gonna give you some of that. We'll play some of that for you on the backside of this hour. I want you to hear some of the new stuff from Arrested Development. But I'm always again honored to be in conversation with Speech. Speech, as I listen to that track, Everyday People, of course my mind goes straight to Sly Stone. I was just telling my board out, Miles. I was up late last night, and for some reason. Thank you for letting me be myself. As a matter of fact, Miles, cue that up. I want to hear some of that second, just because I want to, and it's my show and I can. But I was last night. I don't know why that song just jumped in my spirit. Thank you for letting me be myself again. We'll play a little bit of it just because I want to, as I said. But I was listening to Sly last night and hear you on the program today, and of course one of your huge hits. Everyday People. When you think about the passing of Sly Stone, you think what, Speech?
I think about just how valuable his life was to all of us. I mean, to me in a special way, right? Because obviously one of our biggest songs is People Every Day, and we use this chorus. But even beyond that, just what he gave us permission to do as human beings, and especially as artists, was to be ourselves, to be unique and authentic to who we are and who we are becoming. And Sly did that excellently. And he did it while rocking the entire world and keeping the entire world's attention. That is just admirable on every level, bro. And so I'm just that's what I'm reminded me of. That's what I'm reminded of when I think of his passing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Miles, can you give me just a little bit? I'm still feeling it from last night. So
Come on.
just cause I can, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Fingers start shaking. I begin to run. Bullets start chasing. I begin to stop. We begin to wrestle. I was on the top. I want to thank you for letting me be myself again.
So let that ride, Miles. So speech, since I'm talking to an artist, I can have fun with this now. If I had my list, and I do, of the top 10 funkiest tracks ever written, it's hard to pick 10. But this is on my top 10 list, and it's primarily because of that bass line. Talk to me about
Yeah.
that bass line, Speech.
No, that bass line is iconic. I mean, just think of, first of all, shout out to Larry Graham, but second of all, you think about Janet Jackson sampled that. We all rocked to that with Rhythm Nation
That's
years
right.
and years later.
Yeah.
So many people have been inspired by that record, you know what I'm saying? And the funk of what he brought, that it's just, it's unspeakable. You can't even you can't even quantify it, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I feel.
When you all were approaching your version of Everyday People, take me back to that moment again. I'm going to get to the new stuff on the backside of this hour. But
Sure.
when you were processing, doing your iteration, your version of Everyday People, just take me back to the studio, what the group was talking. Just take me back to that moment when y'all did this thing.
Well, it's funny because we initially did a totally different version. It didn't have the Bob James sample that everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Bob James sample, so it didn't have that, and it was on our. It's still on our album.
Mm-hmm.
It was a totally different version. The label had decided they wanted to release it as a single, and I was worried about it, and so I said, I'm not doing the melody style rap which I created, and then I'm not, I just didn't feel that it had that same punch as Tennessee had, which was our first single. So I went into the studio, friend of mine's apartment, and used his drum machine and made People Every Day the version that everybody celebrates.
Mm.
And that's how that came about. And I knew from the loop, as soon as I heard that loop, I said, this is a summertime. This feels like summer. If I could paint a visual of summer or an audio of summer, this is it. And use that loop, put some reggae on top of it with the bit bye byes and stuff like that. And of course, the Sly Stone, which we already had on our original version, and put it out. And I'm telling you, man, we were hoping that it would resonate the way I was hoping it would. And it did. It resonated even beyond that, bro. It
Oh
was incredible.
man, to the moon and beyond.
Incredible.
To the moon
To
and
the
beyond.
moon and beyond. Yeah, yeah. Facts.
Oh man, that track. Every time I hear it, it just it's a bop, man. It is a bop, and every time
It
you hear
is.
it, you just your foot starts patting and your hips start moving. It's an amazing track. Since you went there, let me follow you. As you know, that is my way. Talk to me, and all the times we've talked, I never asked you this question. So I want to spend a few minutes, let you spend a few minutes talking to me about the way you curated, the way you created this melody style rap that we all associate with you and celebrate you for bringing to us. But talk to me about melody style rap.
For me, it was an interesting time because I had written a song called Rainy Revolution, and in it I'm melodically rhyming. But before I was melodically rhyming, I was just rhyming, and the words are let it rain, like God's water feed me. And for some reason, the words I was saying to me didn't emote the emotions that I wanted to create until I put it in melody. And when I put it in melody, it was just an experiment. It worked so powerfully that it became something that I said, you know what? I'm going to hang my coat on this idea of rapping with melody, because at that time Run DMC had a famous line in one of their songs. They said, I rap and I do not sing. It was against the rules. Not There's no written rules of rap, but in a sense culturally it was against the rules to put melody to rap. And so I wanted to be the first to do it, but also do it effectively to where the emotions that I was trying to put out there were effectively put out. And that's happened. And then of course I did it on a song called You on our debut album. And then of course For People Every Day in Tennessee. So it just became a thing that I just held on to and wanted to really, let that be part of what I offer to the world.
Yeah. Um, Tell me more about how you created that space for yourself. And this is what I mean by that. I was thinking about this a couple of nights ago. There are only so many notes on the scale, right? If
Facts.
you're talking the pentatonic scale, there are only so many notes on the scale, and I marvel. This is why I love artists. This audience knows I say it all the time. I've been asked this question over the course of my career when I'm being interviewed, who I like to talk to most, and it's very simple. I love talking to artists more than anybody else. And
Wow.
that's why I speeches on this program. And I'll tell you why. I love talking to artists because at their best, they are truthful, they are transparent, their lyrics give you something to go inside of. Again, their work and witness is the soundtrack of our lives. But most importantly, I believe that artists always have been, and I pray always will be, the gatekeepers of truth. I believe that
Yeah.
artists are the gatekeepers of truth, and artists can say things in their music that we cannot necessarily say in other spaces, and it's always been that
So
way.
true.
Nina Simone and Stevie could say what we couldn't say. James Brown
Yes.
could say what we couldn't say. Don't get me started. It's a long. Aretha could say what we couldn't say. So I love
Yes.
artists, and I've always seen them as the gatekeepers of truth. But the flip side of that is that there are only so many notes on the scale, and it is
Yeah.
amazing to me. Think about this, y'all. All the music in the world, in the history of the world, that has ever been created was created with those same notes. And so
Yeah.
when you come into a music space and you try to do something different, you try to do something that has not been done before, that's like a real high bar speech. That's like a real challenge. And when you brought us Arrested Development, the sound that y'all created, what you did there with this, melodic style rap was just a different sort of thing. And I've always celebrated you for just entering into a space that's already crowded, where everything has already been done, but finding a different way to do it anyway. If any of that makes sense, talk to me.
Well, it does. But to me, my brother Tavis, it's about fusion.
Yeah.
To me, nothing is new under the sun. The Bible talks about that in the
Yeah.
scriptures.
That's right.
And it's about fusion, and that's what makes something interesting and new. And for us, there was a few fusions. I mean, one is we're a Southern group that at the time, East and West was primarily hip hop, and the South had not really made a huge name yet. And here we are coming from the South. That was one fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Using and standing on the shoulders of East Coast hip hop, West Coast, but now the South is speaking. It had a totally different gospel flair. It had a musical, more instrumental flair, using the instruments more profoundly in hip hop, which New York had been well renowned for stripping it down to just beats and rhymes, which was
Mm-hmm.
dope. We all
Mm-hmm.
loved that.
Mm-hmm.
But we brought something new to the table at that point. Bringing an elder to the table, Bob OJ is the elder, the oldest man in hip hop when he was alive, was a very special thing. And similar to Sly Stone, which we were just speaking about, having men and women in the same hip hop group. Arrested
Mm-hmm.
Development was the second only to do that, believe it or not, by the 1990s. The first was Funky 4+1. My
Mm-hmm.
point is, many would come after that, the Fugees and many others. But at that time, it was all these fusions that, and of course, the melodic rhyme style that we were just talking about, that I think made it interesting enough for people's ears to perk and for people to say, you know what, I want to hear more about this and what people are doing on this tip. And that was us.
Yeah. I'm pushing my way toward the new album. It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. This is why I need speech for the hour. Always glad he makes time for me to delve into all the stuff that I want to talk to him about. So I said a moment ago that I'm fascinated by how a songwriter writes music for the present moment. I said earlier in this conversation that the world is on fire, and if we ever needed live music before, we need live music now. How does one approach writing music in a moment, in a space such as the one we find ourselves in?
To me, brother, that has always been what I felt was the most powerful part of music. You mentioned Nina Simone just a second ago. One of her quotes, and I won't quote it perfectly, but to paraphrase, was that it's our duty as artists to speak about the times that we're living in. And to be honest, there's been a huge void. Not enough artists are speaking about the times that we are uniquely living in. And these times have a lot to be spoken about, and yet we're not doing it. So I've always believed in that power in artistry. Public Enemy once said, Chuck D said that hip hop is the CNN for Black folk. And at that time it was. I think that has laxed and stopped, but I think it can come back in a much bigger way. So Bob Marley said he uses his music as a weapon.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Fela said the same thing. So I believe in that. And I'll say this. I partially got that from my mom, who's a publisher. She has the largest Black newspaper in Wisconsin. It's called the Milwaukee Community Journal. It's been around for 49 years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 57, so I'll be 57. And so it's been around since I was 8 years old. And she definitely had a huge influence. My dad, too, who was also an entrepreneur and an activist. So I will give them props. But yeah, it's just been my tradition, my belief system, that we must speak about the things that are going on in this world. And as you just said a moment ago, music has the ability to climb walls or go under structures that politics and even religion can't do as effectively. People tend to put their walls up with politics, religion, but with music, their guards are more down. And I see this as we travel all over, not just the United States, but Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, and people's walls are down. They want to enjoy a certain feeling that music can do, and music can only do.
As he mentioned, his mother's done some iconic work with that newspaper. And speaking of Milwaukee, I'm pleased to say that Speech is being heard right now on our Milwaukee affiliate, WNOV. So they're hearing us right now, Speech, in Milwaukee. So I'd love shouting out our affiliates who I'm honored that carry this program every day. So that's my attempt to sort of lay the groundwork for this conversation. When we come forward, we'll talk about the new album from Arrested Development. It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. I am delighted and thrilled, as always, to be in conversation with Speech on Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
I'm Brie Wood with BIN News Now. An illegal daycare in Rockland County, New York has been shut down. Officials say it operated in unsafe, overcrowded conditions beneath a tobacco shop and in a windowless basement.
There are at least 69 children between the ages of 3 months and 5 years and 21 adults. As I said, the maximum occupancy for the entire building is 33.
The facility was never approved and the owner may face criminal charges. Los Angeles is on pace for its lowest homicide total in 60 years. Black Mayor Karen Bass and LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell credit faster police response and prevention efforts. Homicides are down 14% compared to last year. And Carnival Cruise Line is under fire for new rules critics say unfairly target Black passengers. Policies include a marijuana ban, curfews, and restrictions on music and fans. Some travelers are canceling trips, calling the changes discriminatory. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The losing streak is up to 6 for the Dodgers. They lost 3-2 at Milwaukee in 10 innings. The 6-game losing streak is the longest for the Dodgers since April of 2019. Something is going on with the Dodgers offense. They've scored only 5 runs in the last 42 innings. Nothing wrong with the Angels offense. They hit 4 home runs last night in their 11-8 win over Texas. If you're into NBA Summer League action, there's an interesting game today that might be worth your time. The rookies and free agents of the Lakers and Dallas Mavericks are meeting up today in Las Vegas. It's a chance to see Bronny James against Dallas rookie Cooper Flagg, the number 1 pick in last month's NBA draft. ESPN will have live coverage, tip-off time at 5 p.m. The LA Sparks have a day game today at Crypto.com Arena. They played the Minnesota Lynx at noon. Minnesota has the WNBA's best record at 17-2. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free Coin Collector Bonus Pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Hey, man. Hey, what's up, What's that station you listening to? Oh, man, you don't know? That's Talk Radio. KBLA, 1580 AM. Check it out. 1580. KBLA AM. Talk Radio. Progressive.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary, and this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
Where you get some information, get a true education, just to know. Ooh, yeah.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song. Stop it! Our listeners love us and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. Figure. Okay, all I see is you and you glowing the game. People called you deranged, but you grew through the pain. Through the change, the kinky bang. The way you sang through the negative things, you getting fame while the enemies came with derogatory names. Sometimes a superwoman had to become Lois Lane. Sometimes a Superman had to become Clark Kent. Playgrounds in your heart surrounded by a hard fence. I get it.
3 decades later, he's still doing it. Our guest in this hour is Speech from Arrested Development, talking about their new album. It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. Tell me about this track, Speech.
Man, brother, when we started that track, we did a show with the Roots at the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles. And I'm telling you, 18,500 people there, packed out, a lot of blacks in the audience. And I was so inspired to just see their faces, the diverse faces, diverse backgrounds, but black people. And I was just like, all I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. And that's what inspired me to write the hook. And then, of course, as we kept going, the song started having double meanings to it. Part of the meaning now is that a lot of the people that are being persecuted by ICE, by numerous countries out here in this world, are people of melanin, and that's another part of it. So it's got some double meanings.
Turn it up, Miles. Turn it up.
All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin. Yeah. All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. Yeah. All I see is melanin, melanin, melanin.
All I see is melanin, beautiful melanin. And my wife's unnatural, she didn't choose a gelatin. Flying to the Netherlands, opposite of settled in. Bars match Kellerman, a born again rebel man. Browner than a
Speech, for as long as I've known you, and of course I knew your music before I had the honor of knowing you, your artistry, it has always been a form of activism, and you've not shied away from that when others have. You quoted Nina Simone earlier that you're saying it's our duty to speak to the present moment. Not everybody sees it that way, and I ain't bashing nobody for what they do or don't do. But again, your artistry has always seemed to me to be a form of your activism. And one, I want you to comment on that. But secondly, the part that I love about it is that you can put forth the message in your music that you want to advance in a way that, one, does not proselytize, but number two, also entertains and still gives us a funky beat, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes total sense, bro. And I appreciate that. To be honest, it is okay. So I started off as a DJ. So years ago, my job was to rock the party. And I did that for many years. And then I turned into a rhymer. My DJ name was Peach, DJ Peach. And when I started rhyming, I put an S in front of Peach, and it became Speech, and not DJ.
Hold up. That's the story of how you got the name?
Literally, that's how I got the name, bro.
Wow.
And I say all of that because my priorities was speaking the message that I shared with you earlier on why I do it, but also making sure that it's dope. It's gotta rock. Like, this is at the end of the day, we still want to have a great time with music, and we still want to be able to play it at parties and rock it at parties. And that's, to me, what I feel the rest of development does well, and me as a producer does well. That track was produced by Kafiga, my brother, and I shout him out. But yeah, that's important to me.
I say all the time, Speech, I love the backstory. I've known Speech for years, and obviously been in I've been a fan of Arrested Development for 30 years. Did not know that DJ Peach became DJ Speech, and that's where the name comes from. Y'all learn something every day on this program. I tell you. I did not see that coming, but I'm fascinated now to ask you this. What did being a DJ, or put another way, how did being a DJ inform your work and witness as an artist?
Definitely informed me, because the reason I wanted to become a DJ in the first place, my dad owned a nightclub. I said he was an entrepreneur. He was an amazing entrepreneur. And his DJs, one in particular named Kitty B, used to rock the parties late at night. I was only 13 years old, and I'm at a club, because of my father. And I'm at the club, and this is 10, 11 at night, and I'm seeing the power that it had over the people. And for me, that was intoxicating. To be able to see how music changed everybody's mood, it totally transformed people. It transformed them back in time, to the future, somewhere else, new continents, different mindsets, different moods. And so I was just like, wow, that is a powerful medium. I want to do that. And actually DJ Kitty B taught me how to do it. So my point is that it definitely had a huge influence on what I would start to do later, which was produce music. I wanted to feel like we were able to still rock some dope stuff, give you some really great stuff to listen to, while, of course, having messages and things that I also believe in. So, yeah.
I want to ask you, to the point you just made a moment ago, whether or not you believe in this moment, in this American moment, in this moment in world history, music is still pregnant with that kind of power.
It is pregnant with it, without a question. Unfortunately, it's many, many abortions being done. A lot of projects that are not not delivering full, to full term. A lot of artists are discouraged from putting that type of music out because they see that the obstacles are everywhere to discourage you from putting that kind of music out, whether it be from your label, whether it be from even fans to this day, and whether it be from various outlets, meaning radio stations and other publications and things out there that are important for marketing your music. A lot of it is going to discourage you from doing that. But for me, again, it's just an obvious thing that we need as a community. It's not even just an honor to do it or a privilege. It's a need. We have to do it.
Yeah. I jumped right into this conversation, 43 minutes ago with Speech. I was so excited to talk to him again. I love this brother. And again, it's been too long since I'd actually spoken to him, certainly in a public setting like this on this program, heard around the country. But I could have asked you at the outset of this conversation to define live music as you use that particular phrase. So I'm going to ask that question now, coupled with this. I don't usually ask two questions at once, but I'll ask both, get out of your way and let you go. How does speech how does speech define live music, and how would speech define the kind of live music that's on this new project called adult contemporary hip hop?
Live music to me is a counter movement to what I considered death music that was so prevalent in our community. You can listen to so many other people's communities' music that they're being fed, and none of it was as derogatory and violent, to be honest, lyrically violent as ours was. Ours was just, if theirs had some violence in it, ours was to the 10th degree of that. And we needed a counter narrative. And I felt like I'm the person to do that. I've already shared with you my convictions, and my group was the group to do that. So life music to us was the counteract to what was already happening. Now you got to remember, we came out in we were developing in the late 80s, came out in the early 90s. A lot of groups, I won't even mention them right now, were coming out with gangster rap was huge. And a lot of the narrative was about killing. And unfortunately, us, so our music was to counteract that. And as far as this album is concerned, in 2025, 33-year-old revolutionary group we are. In 2025, we're still releasing live music. This album, honestly, was a dedication to an artist named Twan Mack, who is a great friend of mine from high school and releasing hip-hop music, very underground. And he passed away last year unexpectedly. I literally shed tears over this brother's life. He meant so much to me and to the group. And his biggest wish was to start a category called adult contemporary hip hop. And we all realized that it was not fair to artists like us who are over 50, some that's just 40 and up, to compete against artists who are 18. Their worldview, the things that they're passionate about are totally different than what our worldview tends to be. And we didn't feel it was fair to just have one category of hip hop and all of us bunched into it. In rock, you got all different types of categories. You got soft rock, hard rock, contemporary, adult contemporary. So we wanted to, Twan Mack in particular wanted to do that. When he passed away, that dream died to some extent. We wanted to pick it up and run with it, just like a relay race. It's like, okay, we're gonna name our album this in dedication to you. He's on the album as a guest, and I'm telling you, that became something that we wanted to take on as our mantra.
Well, they ran the race and they got across the finish line. The project is out. It's called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. Our guest is Speech. More with him, and I'll give you some more from the project, more sound when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
California to the Carolinas. Everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. And I thank you, thank you.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park,
Los Angeles, California.
You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Figure.
We got to throw down. We got to. It's now or never ground. We got this. Let's all just tear us down. Some moshpits. This night will live forever.
So, Speech, this is the track you referenced a moment ago. Tell me more about it, sir.
Yeah, this one right here is called Live Forever. And it's really, it was an urgent song because when my brother Twan Mack passed, who's on the end of this song, I realized that we really have to capture our life right now. Life is important right now. As you said, live in this moment. And that's what this song is really about at the end of the day. Live forever in this moment that you're in right now.
Our guest is Speech of Arrested Development. The new project is called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. Our remaining moments with him as we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
So I ride back to Black Panthers and breakfast meals. A time lapse to when black has sex appeal. Right now it has next to nil. And I'm vexed but real. Do I love her? Still, I love her. And kneel at the foot of my bed. Say, God, these people need to be led. They depleted, nutrients needed.
We got to throw down. We got to. It's now or never ground. We got this. Let's all just tear us down. Some moshpits. This night will live forever.
Newcastle Force, configure on the beat.
Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Let's get back to more of this rich dialogue with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley in Speech of Arrested Development. The new project is called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop. You were mentioning earlier, Speech, these younger hip hop heads, and how unfair it is to be in competition. I'm putting that in air quotes with them, although can't nobody do it like Arrested Development does anyway. I ain't trying to hate on the younger folk, but y'all have established yourselves quite nicely. So one of those younger hip-hop heads is my board op. His name is Miles Lowe, and Miles, I were talking during the break. He asked me a question. I said, you ain't got to ask me, ask Speech. So Miles, ask Speech what you were asking me.
The Speech, piece to the guy, man. Just curious,
What's up, brother?
With the term adult contemporary hip hop, do you feel that may limit you guys in a sense, or even bow out of what hip hop is? It's like giving hip hop away and not, hunkering down as hip hop instead of making it into a subgenre. Just curious how you feel about that.
No, I don't feel that at all. I feel like it helps people understand the width of hip hop, because hip hop, man, let me tell you, people like myself, we grew up with hip hop from our youth to now. We believe in it more than the youth. And that's not a diss to the youth. I'm just saying we've been at it longer. So we have to be able to establish that we also have things to say, and it shouldn't be compared to the 18-year-old, the 20-year-old. It should be relevant to what is going on to people as they've been adulting for many years. Myself, I have kids, they're adults. And so I need to be able to speak about the things that are happening. And the fans need to be able to hear about and be able to have a soundtrack for what they're experiencing as they continue to grow. So to me, it's just adding to hip hop. It's not throwing it away.
Yep. Speech, an impossible question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When you look back 20, 30 years from now on this particular project, what do you hope that you will sense or feel about adult contemporary hip hop, the project?
I hope that it is a starting point for the youth, like the brother that just spoke, to our age, meaning people my age, that we were able to compete within the field, being our own entity, but still being part of the overall hip hop umbrella, speaking about the things that are relevant to us. And yet young people totally, grabbing and jumping on it, jumping into it. I hope
Yeah.
that it will have the same kind of impact that Marvin Gaye's What's Going On had on the youth of his time. Anybody that's ever seen Summer of Soul by Questlove, the documentary that came out, one of the things you see is these young kids on the shoulders of these adults,
Oh, yeah.
when artists that was much older than them, like a Stevie Wonder or Sly and the Family Stone, Fifth Dimensions, are rocking their music. And these young people are in the trees or on the shoulders of their moms and dads, and they're rocking to it as well. That's what I would love to see this album having sparked 30 years from now.
I close with this. Say a quick word about this powerful compilation of Arrested Development's greatest anthems that you guys dropped on Juneteenth, as I recall.
Yeah, so what we did is a lot of people don't realize that we've been doing this for quite a while. So we wanted to give people an update. This is what we've been up to. And then here's the brand new music. So it was both that compilation and, of course, this full album, Adult Contemporary Hip Hop.
I can't imagine anything that the world needs more of right now when it comes to music than live music. And just as they did over 3 decades ago when they burst onto the scene, they are still infusing our lives with the kind of music that can empower, that can inspire, that can elevate, do all that and then some. The new project is called Adult Contemporary Hip Hop, and how thrilled have I been to have another public conversation with Speech of Arrested Development. Man, I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
I love you too, brother, and I always appreciate you. You're a visionary for us, and I've always appreciated that. Thank you.
Just like that, 3 hours gone. Tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow is the best of Tavis Smiley. Going to be hard trying to figure out 3 hours to repeat tomorrow, but I got a hint. I got a pretty good idea that one of them may be this conversation. Tomorrow, the best of Tavis Smiley. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Until tomorrow, and as always, keep the faith.
Medellin, are you with us? Brazil, are you with us?